This is achieveradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/achieveradio.
Hi, I'm Ann Marie, host of the show, and today our guest is Joseph Grick. And Joseph, how are you today?
I'm fine. How are you, Anne Marie?
Great. You had some information. It's been a really crazy, in my opinion, it's kind of ironic how the Hunter moon has synced in with the Las Vegas Massacre. And, only because the Hunter moon has so many implications about the harvest, but also the kill and the slaughter of game and things. And there, I suppose anybody can put things together to two and two in the way they want. But I also realized that the Hunter moon has other qualities about it. So why don't you give us a rundown of what you say?
Well, it has a lot of positive qualities. I mean,
Yes,
it's
it
also
does.
the harvest moon. And the reason for it, why it's so important and why it's special is because it's the last chance. It gives farmers more time. The light of the moon through the early, before the sunrise and at the sunset, it gives them more light and more time to work. And the idea is to wrap up your projects. And this is a good time to start and to finish projects. But we are preparing for winter, and the harvest moon is that you have to haul butt and make use of that light, because after that, it's our days will get darker. I mean, we'll have less light to work. So you're going to see lots of bales, those big wheels of hay and stuff, and all sorts of symbols. That's what that's all about. Harvest is when you get all the corn down, and you get everything, and you get your fall vegetables, and you get yourself, and you get your house in order. You clean your house because you'll be closing it up soon, for the winter. So it's a time to get rid of all the dust from the harvest and everything. And now, if you're a hunter and not a farmer, well, then you have to kill a lot of animals, for winter. I mean, but also too now, as hand in hand in balance, you have the farmers working and you have the hunters providing as well, and you're getting your skins for the winter. And that's the very essence and the very basic. It has to happen very quickly. You don't have much time. That hunter's moon's very important. You have that early light from the moon before dawn, and you have the light afterwards. And if it's a bright full moon, you know how those are. It's like ballpark lighting. That's how it is out here where I am. When we have a full moon like that, that's important. You get more work done. And that's what this time means, it's a great time to finish up, wrap it up, clean out your house, harvest all your, take assessment, harvest for the winter, prepare for the winter, for these long months ahead. And that's what it is. That's the positive note. And these things work hand in hand. You have the hunters that provide the meat and other resources, and working with farmers and gardeners and all sorts of people who do their canning and harvest and plant. So it all balances out.
In the perfect world.
In the perfect world.
In the perfect world, it balances out.
Yes. But there's always a flip side, that, of course. There's always a flip side.
Right. And where I live, the hiking trails then become dangerous.
Yes, they
because
do.
it
And
seems it
don't wear
seems
your antler
exact
hat and fur coat.
well, it seems exactly at this time of year, all of the guns come out.
Sure.
And whether the animals are endangered or not, there will be those that kill ethically, and there will be those that kill just because it's the harvest and they
Or it's
can,
sport. Yeah.
or
And
it's
for sport.
sport.
But you should only kill what you're going to eat and what
It,
you're going to
absolutely.
process.
But to me, it's a very testosterone moon, only
Mm.
because around here, I would love to see that it would be probably because of the work uh, that women do and men do.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to be able to think in terms of the harvest and the game now as the old days, simply because everybody's working from wee hour to wee hour, dark to darkness, and um,
Right. Right.
and
And of
so
course, now in my situation, since I moved into the country and retired from a regular job, um, you start to feel the nature of the whole thing. I mean, you start to see the
yes,
process, especially if you live out where the farms are. I would say I
yes,
was in the agribusiness area where there's lots of farms and open land. But
right.
it's all around me, the harvest, and I see how they make use of it, and I see the effect it has by being out where that all starts. And we're more of the planters anyway. Myself and the people that I know, we're the ones with the gardens, and
Oh
we're
yeah,
the
me
ones that
too.
are, yeah, yeah. We're
But
not the ones out there hunting, but
no,
however, sometimes we have an opportunity to go in on a deer or something that somebody has, and it benefits everybody, actually, quite a few families. If you go in on it, it's it's all useful things, it's all survival. But I do see what you mean about how this could bring out the kill
testosterone.
feeling, and not
Yeah,
not animals but people. um, I
right.
don't understand what really, I don't, okay, all I know, and of course it's the same thing everybody else knows, and I can't really add any thoughts to it, but I will pull a card on, we don't have to even concentrate on this because it's on everybody's mind. I'm just going to pull a card here, just for the hell of it. One card, just whatever. And I got the Magician. And the Magician is upside down. But the Magician normally is about resources, having the resources. Whenever you see the Magician in a spread, it's about the capabilities, talents, and resources at hand, or at the person that we're talking about. In this case, we're talking about all of us, our country, our government, our feelings, law enforcement, about guns, about what happened. We have the ability to do better than this, and we have the ability to change these dangerous situations. And I'm not saying how, because I really don't know how to stop this sort of thing. I mean, how do you stop people from killing people? I suppose we can make it more difficult. I don't know that, but it does point out that there is a potential, but this also shows that we're hesitating on this potential. There is a power, a higher power, and a better way to use all of one's power. However, when it's upside down, it means that there's a hesitancy and a resistance to making necessary changes, to focus, to add more of the spiritual in these decisions being made, and how these things are handled, or why these things happen. It is a lack of spiritual evolvement. I'm not talking about religion. I'm saying that there is a general loss of faith in our abilities, or the abilities to improve. But we have the potential, and we could turn this around. by being brave, by being able to communicate, and to be willing to expand our ideas on spirituality, or perhaps having it for a change rather than forgetting about it. Regardless of whatever a person's belief system is, it doesn't really matter. At the very core of the reasons why we need to consider our decisions is how does it affect other people, and what's truly more important than, say, money, or how much you have, or how much certain people have, and what they do with it. It is a time for people to use their resources in a positive way. It shows that we have them, and we've got the talents and the ability and the means, but we're just not doing it right. And so we
And
have to be confident and be
and
willing
my
to expand. Yes.
and my
Okay.
card for the times, and I please understand that this show, because we want to take for granted that everybody will know what we're reading on, but it will go into the archives,
Right.
and then it will be like, what are they talking about? We are
Right.
talking about the specific time of the Las Vegas shootings,
Right.
and the floods and the earthquakes and all of these things that, what did someone say on the
Our global events at hand are
global events that at hand.
yeah.
And so what my card came up was the 8 of Wands, which
Oh.
is very reversed,
Oh.
which indicates to me instantaneous gratification needs, which often means impatience. As we see things start to unfold and we start to be the victims of earthquake and become the victims of flood and become the victims of mass murder, we find an impatient need and blame easily the people around us to try to be able to have answers and get solutions to fix it. But in this situation, the Bible thumpers will say this is indication of the coming of the end of the world. People that are gun lobbyists will say this is indication of what happens when the gun people, what RNA, what is that called? What is the name of the gun control, the
I'm sorry.
abbreviation? I forget. They a lot of people feel that they are the ones that are making it difficult to be
Oh.
able to take guns into a more measured way. Uh, the old Second Amendment keeps thrown in our face. But whatever it is, it says it's about impatience. Everybody has become, the Democrats have become impatient with the Republicans. The Republicans have become impatient with the Democrats. The flood people have become impatient with the fixers. The earthquake people are impatient with being fixed. And of course, the mass murder of people. We want answers. We want everything, and it's got to, in one way, yes, we need to have help in these situations. On the other hand, nothing good happens quickly without perfecting and strategizing. But then on the other hand, look at all those trucks in Puerto Rico, however you say it, sitting on the docks waiting
Yeah.
for truckers to come.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Hmm.
So anyway, so much
So,
for
it again, it points to the resources are there, the abilities are there. You know,
mhm,
it's just
the the
yeah.
impatience to get it there.
Yeah.
Please
Sure.
help us. Well,
Hmm.
and again, this also shows us what could happen in the time of. It's easy for us to see this in another country happen, but if it
Sure.
were us, it really gives us an eye to what could happen if it
Well,
was
we've had things happen. We had hurricane, we've had,
here.
and actually, I don't think we did all that great with it. It seemed to take a bit longer, and it seemed like things weren't managed well. And I guess suppose you look back through the rear view mirror. It's easy to pick it apart.
Yes.
The thing is that no doubt about it. I mean, we're never. I mean, I suppose that they keep trying to work on being ready, but they never can really plan for the scale at which these things happen sometimes, where it's just places just get wiped out. And then you have this whole thing where these attacks on parties, celebrations. I mean, this is a low blow to just start taking shots at people, to just start annihilating people while they're at a concert, while they're at a celebration, and while the guard is down and
And
people are
that
confident to go out into the streets and celebrate, and then to have this happen. This It's disgusting, and I don't know the reasons behind it, because we all find out as the news unfolds, and I'm not going to sound like a news show, but I'm just saying that that really just is awful. And anyway, it seems like our cards are in sync, because it's like, yeah,
yes.
there's a lot of work is needed, but it's not happening fast enough, and there's also some miscommunication. Apparently, some people think it's being handled great, and other people are like, "Wow, that's delusional."
Yeah. We've got
So
a bunch of
you just
people
don't
in the room.
know.
So I want to just mention who they are, and that we will
Okay.
get to you. Most of them, we do have Lena from Tennessee in the phone room. We have Rebecca from Oklahoma. We have Casimir from Ohio. We have Patrick from Pennsylvania. We have Sarah, and we have Saron, Saraion. And so these are the people. And we have Leon. Oh no, let me see. Oh yeah, okay. And Leon, and Leon is not. Bob has a cart buddy. Okay, he seems to be somebody from another show. But anyway, why don't we take the first one, Lena? We will get to you. I know your
Who's
problems are.
first?
Let's take Rebecca. She isn't in
Rebecca.
quick. And then I'd like to zoom over to Sarah, and then I'll go to Lena from Tennessee. Please understand that our readings are going to be approximately 5 minutes each. We are already down to 38 minutes, and we don't want to dwell on anybody too long. So Rebecca says, message, can I have a general organic reading?
Sure.
So I
Yeah.
believe that, oh, Saron is not for us. Okay. Um, so do you want to go first on this, or?
Yeah, actually, I just laid out my cards right here, and
Okay.
so I just need to get orientated here. Why don't you go first? Okay.
Okay. Rebecca, here's what I have for a general organic reading. It says time to lighten up. There's a sense that you've kind of learned a lot of lessons in the last year. Some of them good, some of them you wished you hadn't. And the main common denominator of your reading says it's time to get rid of the people in your life that are never happy or that drag you down and make you depressed. You've gone through kind of a lonely streak where you feel as if you've been kind of out of touch, either because you brought in the wrong people or you kind of found that you got ripped off, and there's a sense that you were hibernating. But it shows the future is very good for you. Your organic reading says within the next 5 weeks, you are getting out of your slump, and that it looks as if almost as if you can't go fast enough to lighten up. You just want to, your energy level is so much better and you're just raring to go. And with the holidays coming, I think you're ready to let go of the crud of your past and just lighten up and enjoy your life. That's what I have. Joseph, what do you have?
Well, I am seeing that in her past, she's had some monetary losses, or she had to feel that she had to really guard what she had because it seemed like everybody just wanted to. Everybody saw her coming and wanted to take from her, and I do see that that's in the past, and it is something that does influence how she is, and how you deal with things, Rebecca. You may you may seem like maybe you want to run away from certain decisions at the present time that you need to face head on. And it's important that you do. I mean, I would say, I mean, it's great to get away, but don't get away because you want to get away from things that need your attention. And it's time that you made some decisions. And dealt with it head on, because if you don't, it's just going to be the same story, and you are being encouraged to do this, because if you do this within the next 9 months or so, I see what we got here is the Nine of Cups, and this means that your wishes will eventually come true. Your deepest desire, whether it's a satisfying relationship or certain problems that you might, a certain problem that is been long standing or at the present time, I see that being solved and worked out, whatever it may be. I do see that being solved in this 9 period of, like, say, 9 weeks, 9 months, most likely 9 months, because we have to be realistic. I do see that once you decide to face things head on, I do see that the other good parts of this is that your you'll be able to achieve certain goals, and you will get your wishes. You will get things you really do want very deeply that are important, like, say, good health, or even spiritual things or goals that you're trying to accomplish. You will do this, and I do see it working out nicely for you, but you got to face things head on. Don't be afraid because of the past. I mean, chalk it up to experience. You won't fall for certain things again, right? So move on, and then you will do well.
Sarah says, hello, Anne Marie and Joseph. Can I have a general financial reading? Thanks so much. And so, Sarah, I'm going to do quickly a 5-month prediction of your finances. And when I look at that, what comes through is this. October is seen as the month to respect the hunter moon and gather your financial gain that you have this month, because it says in November, you may find that there is a situation that you are feeling confident about and start to spend quite a bit of money, but unexpectedly in December, perhaps because of Christmas, holiday spending, whatever, it shows that you may find that suddenly it feels like the bottom fell out from under you. So use October and November to save up your money and be cautious about how much you spend on pleasures. It also says in December and January, those are rough months for you financially, but hello, in February, or let me see, October, November, December, January, February, it says all of a sudden finances get better again. So your only two really rough months that I see are December and January. Okay, that's for me. And what do you have?
Well, the Three of Wands at the present time, that tells us that I do see that because of her careful planning, and I do see Sarah as being someone that plans. I have the name right, don't I?
Hmm.
Okay. I do see that she is going to achieve goals, or the goal that she's currently working on, the project. It will be realized because of the good planning on her part, and I do see, yeah. You have to. There will be some obstacles and there'll be some challenges. You might have to hop over a hurdle or two because things are like that. But you're just going to do really well with this current thing that I'm seeing. And I do see a warning. Down the line here. I mean, it's like, yeah, you're going to be doing well, but now don't overindulge. Okay, because we have the devil popping up, and it's not as bad as it sounds, really. It's just you know, it's not a frightening card, but always remember that no matter what's going on, that you have options to choose from, and don't let people let you think that you have limited options. Okay, so if you come to that realization on your own, that's fine, but don't let other people tell you how to run your life. And you don't want to have the feeling that you're not in control. So I do see that in terms of finances, um, it's uh, you might have moments of tightness, but don't resent it. Just deal with it, and you take one step at a time, and things will work out. And if you need financial help, never be afraid to ask for it. But just don't let somebody think convince you that you have limited options. Okay, and watch the overindulgences.
Oh,
Somebody's
oh,
knocking
we
at
have
the door.
Lena from Tennessee. She has a phone reading.
Oh,
Hello, Lena.
that's
How are
so
you?
cool.
How are you, Lena?
Hi, Emery. Hi, Joseph.
Hello.
What can we do for you, babe?
I just wanted to, if you guys can see I'm on the right path. I mean, I left one job to go to another job, and then that job was worse than the one that I just left and I found. And
Ouch.
then I had to wait, and then two jobs came up, and they were fighting for me, and I picked one, and I don't know if it's the right one. So, yeah.
Well, let me look at this. I'm feeling that perhaps um, what is happening here is a
Sounds like you got
something
scared.
something deeper. Something
Yeah.
deeper is underneath all this, and I'm just going to do a kind of spiritual
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
reading on this. First of all, it says all of this is happening because you're supposed to be learning a lesson. It says there's a part of you, you're kind of divided in two here, Lena. One part of you is tough as nail and has a lot of boundaries about how much you're going to let yourself get carried away and get too optimistic. The other part of you is ready to play and have fun and be able to be the star of your environment. So I think that what's happening is there's kind of a double personality conflict going on here. And it says you might want to just understand that um, when you leave a job because it isn't perfect enough, and we all do that, just understand that that also affects your record, your job reviews, and it shows that I feel that you need to hang in there in this job that you have at least a month or two before you make any decision at all. I have a feeling that the present job you're with, though it may not feel light and happy right now, is going to be something that can give you a promotion or raise if you just try to be patient. Remember, this is the time of impatience. So try to hang in there at least a couple months before you make up your mind about leaving, Lena. And I think you're going to be rewarded if you do. That's what I have. Okay, Joseph, what do you have?
I am seeing that you are influenced, and you have a good thing in the past, and it's still with you, and in its influence, if it's not with you still, it still helps you a lot. It's a good relationship I see that is worth keeping. In spite of any little flaws you might have noticed, it is something that is a good thing, and it's the good always outweighs the bad traits in that, and I do see that as possibly a way that you use that outlook to try to find the good points. However, it seems like you've just been burned lately and you're jumping around from the frying pan to the fire and you keep leaping around. But you are being something to guide you here is that at the present time, there is a woman who is someone who's wise, and she finds humor in situations, and she's important right now, even though she's had her problems of her own in the past. She one that has somewhat of a way of listening to you and rephrasing it. She has an analytical mind, and she'll be helpful in pointing you in the right direction. She might even be your current boss, which could be an alert that, even though you might see her as kind of wacky, you're going to find out that she's okay. It's give it a chance. And I'm seeing that you have to be patient, and you have to work at getting your ideas across. You're going to have to work at this, because in general, I see down the road we have the Page of Pentacles, and this should mean new beginnings and some deeper spiritual meanings besides monetary. And I do see that even though people at work may not understand or support your ideas at first, but if you know you're right, if you really do know you're right, really do make it a point to try to get them to understand where you're coming from, because this is one way to really get them on your side and to do well on this business, is to share your ideas. So that's what I see for you.
And watch out for impatience,
Yeah,
because
don't be impatient.
I do believe you have a diva side, and I believe you have a strong, confident, no nonsense side. And I think at times, the crows call when the diva side isn't being recognized, right? And so just hang in there and be patient. Don't let those crows get the best of you, okay?
I thought it was in
I
a
love that you
Hitchcock
pointed
movie.
that out. Thank you so much. I'll be
You're
You're
patient.
welcome.
Thank
welcome.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We're going to go to
Bye.
Casmer, and
Yes.
Casmer says he would like. I say Casmer, and if I'm not pronouncing it
Is
right,
that
please forgive me.
Casimir?
Casmer
Oh,
from
Casimir.
Ohio,
Oh.
and says, "Can I get a money reading today?" Do you want to go for that, Joseph?
Money, money, money.
Money, money.
Money, 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 money. Oh dear. You thinking about gambling or buying a lottery ticket or something? I see the Wheel of Fortune today in the present day, and that is ever-changing cycles of life, and it is luck. It seems to me like you want to. I'm seeing a gamble. I'm seeing you want to take a gamble today, and I do see that it shows that this is very positive. It's right side up. Yeah, you might get a few bucks. I don't know, but I do see that you're going to get something out of it. But it is the Wheel of Fortune, and it's a game of chance, so it's difficult to predict. But they say, well, this is a good time for it. We are we're in that harvest moon and hunter's moon, and it's also a time of change. We have that time of the year, and I do see a period that this should be a period of at least personal growth. It looks pretty positive. I do see that wishing won't make it so for future things. I mean, don't make this a way of life, because I am seeing that work is needed, and you can't overcome what reality by making a wish. You have to be active, and I do see that you can do this, but you do have to work on some on actually producing tangible, reliable financial gain. But I do see you coming to that once you do try for it. Okay, I do see that working, but you have to do it. How's
All
that?
right. Well, we have so it just won't stop. The suspense. Okay, so what I have is um, we have today October as being the comfortable month with money. But please be careful about how comfortable you get, Casmer, because November, it says you may pay the price for getting too comfortable with your money in October. Now we go into Christmas, December, where it says you may say, to hell with it. I'm just going to see if I can, spend a little more here to try to get ahead. Well, Casimir, you want to be sure that you don't do that. You want to just scrimp and save through December. It may not be a very good month for you to go Christmas shopping for a lot of people, and they may have to understand because your friends are your friends. And I'm showing that in January and February, finances look great. But do be careful of November and December, making an unwise financial choice that could really put you in the hole. And that's what I show. All right.
There you
So,
go.
uh,
There you go.
so if I look at, we have one more, and that is Patrick. And guess what? Money,
Money,
money, money.
money, money,
Hello. Can
money.
I have a 3-month financial? So,
My God. Do you
Joseph,
think
your
you should
turn.
work for like a bank? I think maybe you should work for a bank. I want money too. I want lots of money. That would be nice. But, you know, whenever they
Oh,
say I'm
Cas-
going to win,
Casimir
I do
just
win a few bucks.
Joseph,
Huh.
Casimir works in a casino.
Oh, that's really funny. The Wheel of Fortune. How funny is
Thanks,
that?
Casimir. We
That
appreciate
is very
that.
funny. Well, I
Yes.
do see now for, let's see here. We do have a turning point here at present in your finances, okay? I do see that you're being encouraged to take inventory and take stock, but I do see some money coming in from some investments, or perhaps you're going to get a little bit of, like, maybe, I don't know what you're doing, but you're going to get some monetary gain from something that you've been doing. Or I do see an improvement in your career if you have one already, and I do see a little profit. I don't see like a lot to radically change your life, but I do see enough to help with some money issues. You might be able to make, like, say, well, now you could pay your electric bill, or something like that. So, but I do see that you need to watch your money, though. Even though I do see things are going well, it is not an indication to start making some investment that's going to commit you, or it is going to take a lot of money that you don't have and that you're just kind of going to count on that paycheck. No, you got to have, you can't, don't try to do everything yourself, and don't try to finance everything yourself. And if any idea or investment really relies on your money, and you're the only one that
Mm.
stands to lose the biggest, I'd say avoid that. I'd say try to hang on to your money in more traditional ways, and you'll do a lot better. And if you're going to invest, really do the research and talk to people who have done it and it has actually worked. and people you know personally, not somebody who's just trying to sell you their cassettes or their DVD set on how to be successful, because they
Oh,
found their way of being successful marketing their DVDs
oh,
to
isn't that
people
the
who,
truth? Isn't that the
yes,
truth? There are so many con artists out there um, that are selling what they know sells. They don't
right.
necessarily, they may research it and they may give lessons or things that are going to make huge amounts of
Well,
money for those that are in desperation.
the
And
charismatic types can pull this
they're
off.
very charismatic. Yes.
Oh.
Patrick, it says for me that um, for some reason it says you walked away from something that you had hoped would give you better financial results than it did. And it says that it's slightly disappointing, the result of this walking away from something that was lucrative and perhaps a little more secure in your past. But it says, take heart. You're learning every day from all of this, Patrick. And my feeling is that beginning in October, November, and December, it says move on from whatever you took a loss from. Try to gain some stability and backbone from all of that and make sound decisions with your money financially, and realize that one of the things that seems to be, and we had some other person, we had that with Lena, that there is a side of you that can be a diva, Patrick, and you want to be able to have maximum results, and and
Gratification,
and in that
results.
in that ego feeling of accomplishment. But when you have to take your time to build on that accomplishment and put up with the bull crap a while, it makes it really hard for you. So it says try to learn your lesson. Nothing happens overnight. You have to invest a little bit into the bull crap to be able to get through and wade through to the accomplishments. So I'm showing that you're getting better on this, and no, and October, November, and December look pretty good for you because you're doing that, and that's what I have. I have something for you, I have something for you there, um, Joseph.
Oh, really? About what?
I'm going to have you do a reading on a name
Oh,
and see what you come up with.
how about
Okay,
okay, all right.
and the name is Stephen Paddock.
Steve. Oh boy. How about one card with that?
Because I think it's too complex. I think I want to know the
Oh,
mindset.
okay. Oh, okay. Let me
To
do
go.
three. Let me do three. Let me just take a look here. You know, it's fun that in the past were some intense friendships here. I do see a lot of love and joy. Cup runneth over, symbolized by the Ace of Cups. It is a wonderful, bountiful card. You could even see that this is the person's past, and I do see that it was a bad time to make a major change.
Do you know who I'm
as
reading on?
symbolized as symbolized by Eight of Wands. I do say that this person at the present day, or in their most recent present day, was that they're being told to avoid decisions and situations because some situations have a way of working themselves out, and too many things are pending, too many factors. A person is missing an important piece of the information. He didn't have all the information, and this person was being told to not take action and to wait for a situation to resolve on its own. And that is symbolized by the Eight of Wands, and it's upside down, and that's what that meaning is. Don't act, wait, is what that advice was for the present day. And the result was the Tower. And it means that long hold ideas and things that you always thought were so are not. And it all is just chaos. It is sudden crisis and misery. It's a disaster, complete breakdown in communication. All aspects have just taken, just open to disaster. So it could only be better.
Okay, before you go
When
further, Joseph, do you know who we're reading on?
No, who was that?
The Las Vegas Killer.
Okay, so yeah, I kind of figured it was him. I just had to check the name again, because it did sound like him, and actually I caught on. But I do see that I didn't pick these cards. These are what came up, and we have the end result being the Tower. And as you can
Right.
see,
Complete disaster.
just by looking at the illustration, it is just, it's really hard to position this properly. There we go.
I know it.
It's just horrible. And so, but there will be things from this that will be hope, believe it or not. It is only after this thing happened that, it's like something had to happen in order for there to be an analysis, a realization. But yeah, it just shows that somebody just started out, and the thing is, these cards don't explain why. We start out with abundance. We start out with my cup runneth over, and all of a sudden we have this quick
crisis.
This quick decision in which information is missing, and then we have kablooey, and that's basically what we have in the news. Because everybody's said about him, he seemed like a fairly happy person, and we're very successful. Certainly not angry or feeling cheated or anything. It is a mystery, especially to us, those who are captive audience in this drama. We don't have information. There's information missing from the puzzle, and that's what the upside down wands indicate, is that there's key information missing from all of this, but good will from this eventually, somehow.
Because when I look at his spiritual journey, it said he was a very supportive person. So that does not speak of a psychopath without guilt.
Yeah.
So he was a very supportive person. And there's a sense that somewhere in it that he lost his old self. He lost his vision of who he was. And when that happened, he lost control of what took over the new personality that he took on.
It's like we're looking at two different people, almost.
Which says to me almost two things. It could be a brain tumor. A medical brain tumor that somehow changed his personality from the super nice guy to something just horribly.
Physical illness can change your brain.
Yes. And it says when he lost control of this new personality that took over, he then took on psychopathic qualities of detachment from guilt, and he became somebody that he wasn't. So in other words, he had no awareness that this was happening to him, according to his reading,
Yeah,
and that
missing information.
he started out as a supportive person. Something took over. I can't help but think that they're going to find a tumor in his brain or something, that maybe he did have a double personality, which nobody knew he had except him. And one day it just took over. But my feeling is that I think it's missing now, but I feel like it will be found out
Yeah,
one way or another.
I have a feeling that it will unfold, and the cards seem to indicate that it's we're all missing. There's information from the puzzle that this piece is missing, and
Mm.
I mean I can't even speculate on it really. That's why I wanted to avoid it, because we only know by what we're hearing, and the cards just don't seem to really be telling me more than that, other than what I already know. I know that this guy was somewhat normal and is fairly happy and successful and very normal, very, very good. And then all of a sudden, poof, and nobody understands it. And it's like the cards are saying, yeah, but nobody understands it. It's like, well, that's not exactly helpful. But,
No,
the thing is, but it is pointing out that there's things we don't know. It's like,
it
what?
is pointing
There's
out.
missing.
It's pointing out he became something he was not,
Yeah, it
and that
shows
something
yeah, it
a
shows a
double.
complete change, a complete boof, and there
Mhm.
it is. It's weird.
Yep. And I think it's either a brain tumor or it was,
You never
his
know. Yeah.
father was almost a sociopath, bank robber, and
Maybe it's
that
something that happens with certain people that they get to a certain age and all of a sudden it flips.
it flips. Yeah, it could be. Well, I do feel that it would be a good thing to do. I want to make sure we did not miss anybody. Um, we seem to have covered it. If maybe we could say a prayer for
Yeah.
the not only
How
not
about we
only
try to draw in the good energies,
yeah,
and just
but
let's let's let's
let's send it also to the souls that are have left this
yeah.
earth, and Tom Petty. We want to say
Yeah.
good to you as well.
That's sad. I'm going to
Yeah.
miss him too. Okay,
Yes.
let's return
Okay.
all the energies, because we're bombarded by so much. We'll return all energy to its source, and we will draw the new energies from the cosmos. I bring the cosmic forces into my body, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. I bring the cosmic forces into my body, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. I bring the cosmic forces into my body, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. Protect me with your white light. Protect us with your healing white light. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. And Joseph, where can people reach you if they want to?
I'm on Keen. I haven't been out there lately, but I'm still there, and I go
And
if I'm still there, I'm still around.
can people
And
can
I'm on
reach you at
Facebook too.
yeah,
I have a
yeah.
page. I have a public page on Facebook as the Lantern Bearer, Joseph the Lantern Bearer, because I might not be the one with all the answers, but I'm one of those people that you stop along the way to ask for directions.
Right,
I got
right.
my lantern out there, and I'll say, "No, you go that way. Try going
Yeah.
that way."
You're direct and you're clear and you don't fill people with BS. And
In
I
fact,
appreciate that.
oh,
And
thank you.
I will say that if you want to reach me for a reading, I go for 15-minute readings, private readings for $30 or a half hour for 60. And you go through my website, which is thecallingoflight.com. And you can also find me at Keen as Sister Ophelia, one of those crazy member names.
Yeah,
And
that was a
also,
day. That was a
yeah,
time.
and also Best Psychics Directory.
Hmm.
So uh, come back next week. Joseph and I will
I
be
will
here.
be here. Yes.
And I just want to do a little bit of, you know, a little bit of some stuff here.
Uh-oh.
So, Joseph, we'll see you later. Here he
Okay.
goes. Bye.
Time to
And we'll come back next week and
go. Okay.
have, I don't know what we'll talk about, but it's always going to be
Well,
something
we'll be
new
closer
and
to
interesting.
Halloween. And
Yeah.
yeah, we already have our fall. I have my fall color scheme here for today's
Yeah,
show.
I like it. I like
Yes,
that.
we
That's
have our
pretty cool.
fake books. It's a tapestry, and we have our purples and greens and
Shh, you're not
oranges
supposed
of
to
the
ever say that.
season. Yeah, purple,
And
green,
I'll and
orange,
I'll just
brown.
have my room and my fireplace
Yeah.
and that's all I'll have. But bye, Joseph, and thank you,
Okay,
thank you,
bye-bye.
thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm Ann Mariel at Achieve Radio's Tarot